What up? So, today we're gonna talk about flow. Right? I know you guys might have heard it in a different word. Some people call it in the zone. There's other words for it. I'm sure you've heard of it. Now, why I want to talk about it is I want everyone to get into this kind of altered conscious, right? I know a lot of you've heard that you're only using 10% of your brain, 20% of your brain, or something like that. In my opinion, I feel like we're using 100% of our brain, and we're just focusing on different types of stimulus, right? So with meditation, you kind of shut off certain parts of your brain and highlight other parts of your brain. It's the same sense in flow. See, flow with this altered status consciousness, you can do great things. A lot of basketball players, they do this. It's mainly in extreme sports. They usually experience it a lot, but it's also, musicians, they get into it a lot. Mozart, Beethoven, they got into their zone and they were able to just, it just came to them kind of thing. I know if you guys heard of that kind of thing. Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, they say it just comes to you like in a dream or something like that. It's just a different type of zone. So, and I want everyone to experience something like that. You have, I would say most of you have already experienced something of the sort. You might not realize it, you might not know it, but some key things that you can say if you were in the zone or not, there's time warping. Have you ever been doing something and time just escapes? Something that's easy, something is just fluid, you're just moving, your body's just going, everything works out perfectly. Like, think about it as a river, right? A river has winds and turns and everything, but what happens to the water? The water just goes and flows no matter what, rocks are in the way, the rapids or anything. The stream just goes, flows, it picks up speed, it slows it down, nothing's able to stop it. Now imagine, basketball, you're getting through the defense, you're making your shots easy. Music, you're just going and going and going. And, the kind of thing, I want everyone to experience, especially in their work situation. Let's say you're at work, you could be a cashier and, there's a lot of business coming in and you're able to cash people out easy. If you make sandwiches, you can do that. If you in a clothing store, hey, you need this, hey, you need that, and you don't feel exhausted whatsoever. You're just tuning out all external things that aren't needed. You're seeing the person in front of you, you're acting accordingly, you're listening accordingly, all your senses align in what you're doing. Now, a lot of us are doing a lot at once. I want people to stop multitasking. Yes, the world is, if you don't multitask, you're kind of losing out, but also you're not, if you have 20 different things and you give a little in each one, I personally don't think that you're making much progress. Now, if you 100% attack this one, 100% attack this one, 100% attack that one, it might be a slower process, but you would give a lot more, the results will be a lot quality over quantity kind of thing, right? You attack that, attack one at a time. A lot of people, you're on your phone, you're counting money and you're not really paying attention to a lot and you're missing out on a lot of stuff. See, when you slow down, breathe, and actually focus on what you're doing, you appreciate it, the other person appreciates it, we all appreciate it, we all come together. See? Now, with flow, a couple things of how to get into flow, right? It's intense focus, right? You need to be submerged in what you're doing, right? So what does that mean? It means if you're a typewriter, right? You can't be, you can, but it's easier without, if you're listening to people talking to you in the background or anything, you gotta tune them out, you gotta empty silence or anything. If you're studying, you need all external things. Shut off your phone, stop listening to music. Some people actually listen to music like white noise. Try not to get distracted in the lyrics. Listen to, just instrumentals or anything like that. You just need intense focus. You need to be submerged in what you're doing 100%. You will get sidetracked because of the multitasking mind that we developed as we were growing up. If you just focus deep down in what you're doing, you'll be golden. That's key one. Key two, you need to have repetition. You need to do it every single day, whether you want to do it or not. And the hardest part, how it strengthens the most, is if you're doing it when you really don't want to do it, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say you're at work all the time and you're picking up the phone, calling customers. You really don't want to talk to anyone, but it's that time that you actually push through that, I don't want to talk to anyone or whatever. You're actually working out, your, I guess you say your discipline or anything. It's just that rubber band that's actually, keeping you together. You're stretching it out. So then when you actually want to do it, you already went through the resistance. Now you just easily, because you already built that muscle, right? So you need intense focus. You need to cut out distractions and just get into it. More tips on when I get more information, but when I get information, you'll get the information from me. So get into flow. Try to stop multitasking. I can't tell you to stop multitasking. I can tell you to try to focus more. And get some meditation in there. That's an easy, I don't want to say easy, but it's more, it leads to a lot. You build that foundation, your house is going to be great. Feel me? See ya.